All right, let's move on and let's go on to our next guest, Mr. George Orton. How you doing, my friend?
Uh,
I don't even know why I asked, George.
Enough
I
said,
don't know why I asked.
George.
But talk to me, what went wrong today, man?
Everything. Can you
Yeah.
tell me one thing that went right?
The coin toss, did we win that?
No,
Oh,
we lost that as well. We lost that as well.
There you go.
One thing that went right, nah, I can't, to be honest. It was a shambolic display from start to finish. It really was. And what do you put that down to? Was it down to tactics? Was it down to player application? I mean, what's your thoughts on that?
As you guys know, I have been very pro-Ange. I'm losing that slowly and surely.
Sim won't like to lose another one in his camp.
Yeah, I'll never actively say manager out unless they've like come out and slagged the club off. Mind you, when Conte did it, I kind of like that. Yeah, I can't defend him other than saying I liked all of the substitutions apart from the fact that he didn't bring the Lolo off. That was it. I don't know if you read in the comment section, probably not because I didn't do it as a super chat, but I did bring up how has anyone noticed how we always play like this, lackluster, shit, and just so negative, defensive, backwards whenever Lolo's playing.
It's a good point, to be fair, because, you know, you always expect, I mean, there are certain times when he tries to push the agenda and he tries to drive the team forward. But that is why I keep calling for a top six to come into this club, because we lose too much of that protection for the defence when he's there just by himself as the lone six. That's not his position. That's not what he should be doing. And I think he's a good player, Bentancur, don't get me wrong, but he's just playing completely in the wrong role for the team, in my opinion.
100%. When I was a kid playing in Sunday League, we were a very, very attacking team. And the second that anyone played the way that he plays, as the team, we would just like tell them off, make sure they never did it again, and show them how to do it properly. Maybe rest them for a couple of weeks. He's shown how good of a player he is, but for me, he's only shown his true potential when we were under Conte. So I think, and I don't like picking out players, but to be completely fair and full transparency, Maddison is my favourite player within the club. I don't think he's the best player within the club, but he's my favourite. And I think when him and Lolo play together, we're shit. We're too negative. We don't utilise the out balls properly. We're too static. My biggest bugbear today was the fact that we only started to show like we wanted to play and win in the 88th minute. And even the commentators mentioned that. And even then, when they said it, I looked at it and I was like, well, Lolo's on the ball. Which attackers are actually moving into a space for him? No one. They were all static. Yeah, some of that could be down to the age, not having obviously Sonny on the pitch and stuff. But he's near the end of his career now. I don't think he's done, but he's getting older. He's getting towards that age where we are going to have to start. He can't even finish full matches anymore. That's the levels that we're at. But I think, echoing what Daigle said, it all does come down to the absolute top, because yes, it's good investing in young players, and I like the idea of having a 5-year plan. But when it's a 5-year plan, you change that 5-year plan every year when you change a manager, every 2 years when you change a manager. You're never going to achieve the end goal. And that, for me, that's the biggest problem here. Not the manager, not the players necessarily, not the recruitment. I think it's all three. I think the manager out of all of them is the least to do with that, because I think if we hold on to Ange and we actually do grow these youngsters that he's got, yes, this year it's basically done. Next year, thank you. Next year, I think will be a very similar situation if we don't invest properly. But I think if we go and revert to a new manager or try bring someone in new, even interim to the end of the season, recover the season, it's just going to be the same shit next year.
Yeah, look, it is hard to disagree with that, and I do agree wholeheartedly with your point on the ownership. Like, I think if you've been watching me for long enough, you know what my views are of Enoch and Daniel Levy. And,
100%.
But the reality is that today, if you take this game in isolation, you look at the two teams that went up against each other today, man for man, player for player, we had a much better team than RZ Alkmaar. No disrespect to RZ Alkmaar. So I genuinely don't believe today had anything to do with Daniel Levy. Like, today we should be doing a lot better. The players need to be showing better, application on the pitch, and the manager needs to be sorting it out a lot quicker. Like, when he sees it's not going right, like at half time, yeah, fair enough, he brought on Wilson Odebert for Telt, but I feel like 2 or 3 players could have been hooked off at half time, and tactically he could have done a lot more to swing the momentum in our favour again.
Yeah. For me, the substitutions weren't made early enough. I think that there should have been more even before half time. I don't like just the political correctness of football in this day and age, where subbing anyone before half time if they're not injured is big no-no. I don't like that. Sorry, dinner's ready right at the wrong time. But yeah, I don't see a way out of it other than just get through these hard times. But I said that last year. I said that the year before. I said that the year before that. I'm lost. I really am. And I'm not a football fan. I don't enjoy watching football matches. I only enjoy Spurs. I'm a Spurs fan. Couldn't give a fuck about what any other club does. The fact that Spurs are in this position, they're my only outlet of like having a switch off from life. And even they bring this much misery and depression. Should be used to it by now, being Spurs. But yeah, I don't see any positives from today.
Yeah, we're addicted to the pain, George. That's what we are.
It's only 1-0. It's only 1-0, George. That's the positive.
There you go. There's your one positive.
Yeah. And I guess that is a positive, because it could have been a lot worse today. And we deserved it to be a lot worse for us today, with Alkmaar completely playing us off the park. And, taking them back with only a 1-goal deficit, there is still a chance for us, isn't there?
Yeah, there's definitely still a chance, especially with the second leg being at home. I think that's where we have got lucky. Is that luck that we got the home leg, the second leg? Was that like luck of the draw, or was it always going to be that way? I haven't actually followed that side of.
I think because we finished in the top 8, I believe, that we got the home leg second, I believe.
Okay. So if that is the case, then that's good. But I think that's probably the best part of the situation we're in now. Because if we were 1-0 down after a home leg going away, I don't see us turning it around.
Yeah.
Now, I think it's probably 70-30 that we do. But there's still too high of a chance that we don't go through against a club like Alkmaar. And again, not being detrimental to them, it's more a reflection on us as a club.
Yeah. The other problem is that Alkmaar, from here on in the tournament, is probably the easiest team that we're going to face. You've got Ajax or Lazio or Frankfurt in the next round if we do get through. And if we put in performances like that away from home against any of these clubs, I mean, we'll lose by, a lot heavier margins than we did today.
Yeah. Yeah, literally. I haven't even got any words to respond to that. I'm such a loss. I don't drink alcohol, and the missus, even she doesn't follow football, and she understands how horrible today's been.
Cheers to you. Cheers to you, George. I'll let you go off and enjoy your dinner, my friend.
Appreciate it.
Bon appetit, mate. Bon appetit.
Have a great rest of the week, guys.
Cheers, you too, mate. Come on, you Spurs. George. Big, I love that tattoo.